It's been a hotly debated topic, the so-called new player experience, and how do we keep people wanting to try out the game Planetside 2 involved in the game and understanding the game. And I constantly see on forums, on Reddit, oh, we have to do this for the new player experience, we have to do that for the new player experience, and the conversation is almost exclusively dominated by veterans, people already playing the game, etc. And that does make sense, because if you were a new player that was driven away from Planetside 2, why would you be on the forums discussing Planetside 2? So I have taken the liberty of talking with a friend who has played Planetside 2 back at launch, and he was driven away after about 20-30 minutes of gameplay. The following is an interview with a personal friend and fellow YouTuber McFluffers about his new player experience back when Planetside 2 launched. There will be more of these interviews with different players who played at different stages in Planetside's timeline later, but I feel it's good to start here with people playing at the beginning of the game's launch, because this was an extremely crucial time to get new, interested players hooked on the game, and so many of these players were driven away by the sheer obtuseness of Planetside 2's initial tutorial experience, if you could even call it a tutorial. Alright, so from my understanding, you tried to play Planetside 2, but you were driven away by the game. So I've got a few questions here. I think there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this will be painless. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
All right, so first question. What initially attracted you to try playing Planetside 2?
Okay. I remember when I first heard about it, I got excited because mainly I just wanted to drive a bunch of crap, and there's like a ton of machines on there that you can drive, so I was pretty excited about that one.
Uh-huh.
I was hoping to make a couple of funny YouTube videos from it, because I suck at driving, and so does my cousin.
Yeah, such is the YouTube life.
Yep.
But other than YouTube, was there anything else that attracted you to Planetside?
I don't know, it just looked like fun to just drive around and I don't know, just mess around with driving and shooting people, basically. So it looked pretty good with the massive, multiplayer online stuff, and I wanted to have a Halo kind of a feel back to it, like just bring me back to the good old days of Halo 3, I guess.
I see. And next question, around what was the time that you tried Planetside?
Oh boy,
rough estimate.
How old's my YouTube? I'm gonna say like maybe 3 years ago, pretty close to then. It's like right when I started YouTube, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that was when I was looking for a lot of games, and I think it was like 3 years ago.
All right, so that answers my next question. I was going to ask you if you did either the tutorial level or the Koltyr zone, but now I know from that time that they literally just dropped you into the middle of the fight.
Yep, that was pretty
much. A bit of flavor text, and you go.
It was
Never
just
mind
like,
controls, figure that out later.
It was like, here's your loadout, blah, and I was like, okay, here we go.
All right, so, and I have to admit, like a lot of those new players, like the ones I've talked to other than you, have skipped that tutorial, so we can just keep on moving. But there is like a tutorial zone now, sort of like Tutorial Island on RuneScape, except it only seems to be used for like high-level players to like make twink characters and farm some newbies.
Oh, good. That would I would have probably skipped it, to be fair, if I had the chance.
Like, I have to admit, I tried when we had the tutorial level in Planetside 2. I tried it. I eventually just skipped out of it because half the time the instructions were so obtuse that I kept on getting stuck at one particular portion of the tutorial, and it wasn't letting me advance.
Holy crap. That seems about right for tutorials nowadays.
Okay. So now I want you to do me a favor and describe your first 30 minutes of playing Planetside.
Okay. So the first 30 minutes it was a mess, because I can't even remember because we were trying to figure out how to get like a better gun and all that stuff, and I didn't know if there was loadouts or anything like that, and I think I eventually gave up on that and was just like, okay, let's try to figure out how to find each other. And I remember the teleporting screen was a little bit wonky, and it zoomed up, and I was like, oh, here's all these 3 areas of I think it was like purple, red, or blue, or some 3 colors fighting along. And we went and teleported to like the closest one to what looked like fighting, because it was blinking. And like the second we got there, it was just a bunch of people screaming, and we were just like, oh shit, how do we let's try to get to a car, and we couldn't figure out how to do that. So we were trying to ask someone. I think we were trying to ask someone to try to figure out how we could do it, and they were saying something about resources, and it just went right over our heads. And I think we still did not figure out how to even get into a vehicle or anything like that. And so we just tried to like, okay, let's go find some people to shoot at and see if we can get into it that way, make some friends, and they'll teach us how to spawn vehicles. And I don't think we got very far. We just got killed a bunch. And then we were just like, okay, I think we lasted about I don't even think we lasted 30 minutes. We lasted about 20 minutes. It was just like, I can't figure this game out. I guess I'm...
And did you ever try to play it again after that? Or was it just, okay, I'm done. I'm not touching this anymore?
Yeah, it was pretty much I'm done. I never went back since. We couldn't figure anything out. So we were just like, yeah, it's too complicated. I don't think we can get into it.
Okay, that sort of answered my next question. But just for the sake of being very clear of it, what factors, things, etc., would you say drove you away from Planetside 2?
I guess it was too confusing, and we couldn't figure out how to get to what I thought would be the best aspect of being able to, like, you know, have your buddy and you just like team up and find either like a vehicle to get to the action, or to. It was hard to be able to team up and find a good weapon with just two people. The hardest part was, I don't know, it was just hard to figure out the guns, and there was a lot of confusion. But then again, there was no tutorial, and it just dropped me in. We were just trying to somehow figure it out. So I think that was probably what was the hardest part.
Yeah, I can understand that. Definitely, there has been an attempt to make a tutorial level, but they scrapped that in the name of something called Koltyr, which we covered earlier.
Oh.
It's pretty much like a zone meant for newbies only, where they allow only players under a certain ranking in.
Oh, okay.
However, there's not much stopping people from just making twink accounts and going in and just stomping on people.
Oh, good. They need to fix that, I think.
And lastly, what do you think would have kept you either playing in the first place, or what would convince you to come back to Planetside 2 and give it another try?
I think if I just had a little more direction, but I guess it's difficult for game makers to do that, but like I wanted to figure out, like, in simple steps of not like just like, here, let me hold your hand, of like, hey, this is how you get your guns, this is your main goal, and this is how you can get your vehicles, how you can get or like the power-ups. I'm not sure if they had any.
There are power-ups now. They're called implants.
Oh, good.
They're not very effective.
I would just hope for... Oh, really? They're not even... Oh. I guess that I just hope for simple direction that isn't like a huge, long-ass tutorial of just skippable cutscenes and then ending up where I started over, like, what the hell do I do now? If I had that, I could probably figure it out. Like, a lot of games have... where you can push start and then it'll say like, here's a couple videos of how to do what you're looking for, and it says how to do this and that. I think that would probably help me. Yeah,
they were very reliant on a YouTuber who is now an employee of the company Daybreak Games, formerly known as SOE. SOE. I was about to say SOE Entertainment, but the E in SOE stands for Entertainment.
Oh, and Entertainment.
Yeah, a fellow named Rel, who did a lot of basic tutorial videos to eventually put his stuff on the official channel, and from my understanding, he is now an employee of Daybreak Games.
Oh.
So there's definitely efforts being made to try and improve the Planetside 2 new player experience, but I really, as we've seen here, for you, it was much too little too late. Like, this stuff needed to be around when the game was first out and people were interested in it. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh, yes, I totally agree with that.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining me, McFluffers. You can find McFluffers at youtube.com/McFluffersbro.
Ooh.
And I will see you next time. There will be a couple other interviews with new players who did not stick with Planetside 2. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that was not directed at you, but okay. I was just doing that for the video.
I wanted to talk more.
It's cool.